At the iconic Santiago Bernabéu Stadium, where legends were forged and history is etched into every blade of grass, a new story is unfolding. But the question remains: who truly owns the heart of Real Madrid's midfield, the maestro who carved his legacy, Zinedine Zidane, or the prodigy writing the next chapter, Jude Bellingham? Today, we dive into the ultimate battle of generations, a face-off between two eras, styles, and visions of football brilliance. From Zidane's timeless elegance and surgical control that defined the Bernabéu midfield to Bellingham's dynamic power, precision, and goal-scoring prowess that's electrifying 2025, we will analyze every dribble, every assist, every defining moment to uncover how these two icons shape the heart of Madrid. Join us as we explore the artistry, influence, and legacy of Real Madrid's midfield kings, Bellingham versus Zidane, Jude Bellingham goals, Bernabéu midfield, and the history that connects them. Hala DNA. Jude Bellingham's journey to Real Madrid reads like a story destined for greatness. From his early days in Birmingham, rising through the ranks with maturity and poise beyond his years, to becoming one of the most coveted midfielders in the world, every step has prepared him for this stage. Upon arriving at the Bernabéu, Bellingham didn't just join a club. He immediately made his presence felt, asserting himself as a vital force in midfield, capable of both orchestrating attacks and finishing with clinical precision. The press, already enchanted, began drawing comparisons to the legendary Zidane, a recognition of his elegance, vision, and ability to influence the flow of the game at the highest level. But Bellingham is more than a modern echo of a past legend. He is the embodiment of a new generation. Unlike Zidane, whose artistry lay in graceful control and subtle mastery, Bellingham brings a blend of physical power, relentless energy, and explosive pace, pressing opponents, transitioning swiftly, and driving forward with fearless intent. He is a player of the modern era, dynamic, versatile, and unafraid to take risks, yet always grounded in intelligence and tactical awareness. Carlo Ancelotti himself acknowledged the difficulty of comparing these two giants, for they represent not just different players, but different epochs of football philosophy. Watching Bellingham in action, you can feel the heartbeat of a team in motion, the electricity of youth meeting opportunity, the hope that Real Madrid's midfield is not only in safe hands but evolving towards something extraordinary. Every goal, every surge forward, every perfectly timed pass tells a story, not just of talent, but of potential yet to be fully realized. Here, at the very heart of the Bernabéu, Bellingham isn't merely participating in history, he is crafting it, step by step, game by game, with the promise that the legacy of this generation will be as inspiring as the one that came before. Hala DNA. Zinedine Zidane's time at the Bernabéu was nothing short of legendary. Every match he graced carried the weight of artistry and precision, from unforgettable moments like his audacious volley against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League to countless defining performances at home that left fans in awe. Over the course of 227 appearances for Real Madrid, he scored 49 goals, but his influence transcended mere numbers. He became the embodiment of elegance, vision, and mastery in midfield. Zidane was not just a player, he was a symbol, a standard-bearer for generations of midfielders, and his name became inseparable from the very identity of the Bernabéu midfield. His greatest strength lay in his seamless blend of grace, creativity, and supreme football intelligence. Zidane transformed the center of the pitch from a simple engine of possession into a stage where beauty, control, and strategic brilliance converged. He opened a door, a window, into what the midfield could be, a realm where technique, foresight, and flair coalesced into dominance. Today, this door remains open for the next generation, and while Zidane sets the benchmark, he also becomes the measuring stick, the figure that rising stars like Jude Bellingham aspire to reach, challenge, and perhaps even surpass. When we place Jude Bellingham and Zinedine Zidane side by side, the contrasts are as striking as the similarities are compelling. Zidane, the archetypal maestro, dominated the center of the pitch with elegance and precision, orchestrating the tempo of every game, threading passes with surgical accuracy, and turning midfield control into a form of artistry. Every touch was deliberate, every movement purposeful, and every match a lesson in spatial intelligence and creativity. He was the conductor of a symphony, dictating rhythm and flow, making the Bernabéu midfield not just functional, but a canvas for football poetry. Bellingham, by contrast, represents the modern evolution of the midfielder. He operates across all dimensions, winning the ball back, surging forward into attack, linking play, and striking with composure. He presses relentlessly, transitions with lightning speed, and consistently influences both defensive and offensive phases. While Zidane mesmerized with artistry, Bellingham electrifies with versatility, energy, and a multi-dimensional approach that fits the demands of 21st-century football. Take his first season at Real Madrid. 40 starts versus Zidane's 48 early appearances, yet the speed at which he adapted, integrated, and began leaving his imprint is extraordinary. His impact is immediate, from decisive contributions in El Clasico to goal-scoring bursts that make headlines around the world. Looking at legacy and future potential, Zidane's mark is monumental and unlikely to be replicated. He defined what it meant to control the Bernabéu midfield, not just through skill, but by embodying a standard of excellence that generations would aspire to. Bellingham, however, carries the torch for a new era. With continued growth, he could redefine this hallowed space in his own image, infusing it with athleticism, dynamism, and tactical versatility that reflect the modern game. This is the essence of a true battle of generations. It is not merely about who is better, but about which player fits their era, how they shape the team, and the enduring impression they leave on football history. The Bernabéu midfield is no longer just a concept, it is a living legacy, written first by Zidane and now being authored by Bellingham. To understand the full picture, it helps to break down these two midfield titans through a SWOT lens. For Zidane, his strengths were undeniable: sublime technique, unparalleled vision, a commanding presence, and the aura of an icon whose very name inspired teammates and fans alike. His weaknesses, if any, were subtle, slightly less pace and transition speed compared to today's lightning-fast midfielders. His opportunities came from being at the dawn of the Galacticos era, shaping a Real Madrid side filled with world-class talent, while his threats included the immense pressure of expectation and the constant competition inherent at a club of such magnitude. Bellingham, conversely, thrives in the modern game. His strengths lie in athleticism, versatility, goal-scoring ability, and a natural fit for contemporary football's high-intensity demands. Yet, he is young, and maintaining consistency while avoiding injury remains crucial. His opportunities are vast. He can actively reshape the Bernabéu midfield and leave a legacy of his own making. But with high expectations and inevitable comparisons to legends like Zidane, the pressure is equally immense. So, who truly owns the Bernabéu midfield? The answer is not simple. Zidane laid the foundation, a timeless blueprint of artistry and control. Bellingham, with the tools of the modern game, is constructing the next chapter, dynamic, ambitious, and full of promise. The ultimate question lingers. Will Bellingham reach the heights, durability, and cultural impact necessary to touch, or even surpass, the legacy Zidane left behind? Only time will tell. Looking ahead, Real Madrid's midfield is evolving rapidly. Modern football demands more than elegance, it requires intensity, versatility, and relentless pressing. The Bernabéu of 2025 is not the same as the Bernabéu of Zidane's era. Jude Bellingham stands at the forefront of this transformation, already showing signs that he is entering the prime of his career. In every sprint, every recovery, and every decisive pass, Bellingham embodies the new era of midfield mastery, dynamic, multidimensional, and fearless. As we witness these changes, it's clear that comparing generations requires context. Zidane defined his era with artistry and control. Bellingham is defining his with athleticism, adaptability, and a hunger for impact. Fans and analysts alike should keep an eye on his performances in high-stakes fixtures, the El Clasico showdowns, Champions League battles, and domestic clashes, to see if he can truly claim the midfield in the way Zidane once did. The story is ongoing, and the next chapter is being written before our eyes. So, stay tuned, watch closely, and share your thoughts. Who will be the defining symbol of Real Madrid's midfield in the next decade? The future is alive at the Bernabéu, and it pulses through Bellingham's every move. As we reflect on this battle of generations, one truth stands clear. Zidane built the foundation, crafting a legacy that transformed the Bernabéu midfield into a stage of artistry, control, and influence. Jude Bellingham, meanwhile, is writing the next chapter, bringing energy, versatility, and a modern flair that promises to redefine what it means to dominate the heart of Real Madrid. Owning the Bernabéu midfield isn't just about statistics or goals, it's about cultural impact, inspiration, and leaving a mark that transcends time. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you think Bellingham has what it takes to surpass Zidane, or does Zidane remain the unshakable standard for all midfielders to follow? Share your thoughts, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to join us for the next History Love episode, where we explore the greatest clashes between football generations. Hala DNA.